Paul Le Guen, Ally McCoist, Pedro Caixinha and Michael Beale. What do all these managers have in common? At Rangers, they all won fuck all in terms of major trophies. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And we need to decide. It's pretty simple. We need to know who the worst Rangers manager of all time is. And I think it is only fair to have these four as the options, because outside of minor trophies, aka the lower leagues, or some shitty cup that isn't considered one of the top two, none of these managers won anything. I think McCoist had a couple of league titles in the lower leagues, and I think Rangers also won a SPFL Trust Trophy or something, or Challenge Cup or something like that. Something that wasn't even relevant.
No, they just won League 1 and League 2 with McCoist, I believe.
And Championship.
No, not
Was that Warburton?
Not according to this. Yeah, it was Mark Warburton.
Well, either way, they didn't win much with Ally McCoist. I think he did win a cup with McCoist, though.
But it doesn't say. Maybe it was the Peter Ball Cup.
No, there's a cup that only the lower leagues are involved in.
The Petrol Cup.
I don't know what it is. I think Rangers won that. Anyway, look, they didn't win any major trophies, and they were all pretty much major disasters at Rangers. So we put up for a poll who was the worst of them all: Le Guen, McCoist, Caixinha, or Michael Beale. Why I had to say Michael Beale's first and last name, I don't know, but I did. Deal with it. And coming in at first place, or you know what, we'll go last, because, you know, coming in fourth place out of these managers, Ally McCoist, 11%. 11% of you think Ally McCoist is the worst of all time. Then, narrowly, just in front of him, it's Paul Le Guen with 12%. Then it is Michael Beale with 25%. But coming in first place, the worst Rangers manager, apparently, of all time, with more than half the voting percentage, 594 votes in total, was Pedro Caixinha. And, I mean, I think you can certainly make a case for Pedro Caixinha being the worst of them all.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, guess what, guys? He had a 53.85 win percentage. And, you know what, I will give Pedro a bit of slack, though. I think out of, apart from McCoist, out of the other three, he definitely had the weakest squad.
He did have the weakest squad, like, that's undeniable.
So,
and he was probably up against
one of the stronger Celtics teams.
True, but it's not like he didn't perform against Celtic and did well against everyone else.
He got beat against Progress.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on this list.
And he made no progress. So, I mean...
and he hid in a bush, so...
When you factor that in, he lasted 227 days, 26 games in charge of Rangers, 14 wins, 5 draws, and 7 defeats, which gives him 53.85.
Not telling, though. 49 goals scored and 30 conceded. Conceding way more than a goal a game.
Yeah, it's not good now. I mean, this is a better win percentage than what Paul Le Guen done, but maybe you can argue Paul Le Guen had Champions League football, or can you even make that case? I think they did.
I can barely even fucking remember. I mean, even not, but let's be real, right? See with Pedro, like, this is the same guy, Andy Halliday, telling the story about he didn't know who was on the bench, and he was bringing on, like, right backs to play. He wanted to bring on players to play on the winger positions.
Okay, but
they weren't even at the club.
I mean, this guy played this guy had 5 games less in charge of Rangers than Paul Le Guen did, but his team scored more goals than Paul Le Guen and only conceded 2 more. So, I mean...
See, like I say, Pedro, you know, obviously the worst at the 3 in terms of squads. Celtic, better, and that's, I mean, I would probably go as far as saying Paul Le Guen is worse. I would.
Paul Le Guen plus came in with expectations. Pedro didn't really come in with any expectation. You know, nobody knew who he was.
Pedro brought in the South Americans, they all flopped, and Big Paul brought a few Frenchies and a few loonies in.
And they all flopped as well. Right, let's move into second place. We've talked enough about Pedro Caixinha. There's not many stats that can make Pedro Caixinha look good. However, when you look at Michael Beale's win percentage, it's pretty impressive. 72.09. And he is only beaten by Ally McCoist. He has the second best win percentage as a Rangers manager, which is pretty insane.
It is a good record, right? But I mean, compared to Gio, he's got about 12 and a half more points on it. in terms of the win percentage. But I mean, Gio, a lot of more European games. You've got to factor that in with Gio's run.
That is true.
You've got the 6 Champions League games, and you know what, it was a disaster. I can't deny that. But you can't. I mean, how many of them can you really put down to Gio?
Yeah, the team just wasn't good enough.
No, it wasn't good, and there was a lot of mistakes in there, and you know they didn't really strengthen in points. But with Beale, 72% is a great win percentage. I mean, it is, but you've got to factor
4 draws, 8 defeats.
Like, he only played 4 European games, right?
And he only lost 1 of them.
Aye, so, I mean, again, I think against Servette, you should be picking up all, you know, both 2 wins, easy peasy, with Beale, but he did lose every crunch game against Celtic.
It's not a bad record, but you've got to factor in that the majority of those wins came last season. A lot of his bad results were over a small period of time.
Yeah, like seeing the season end, no one really had a problem with Beale. It was all this season.
No, I think Rangers fans were optimistic after last season. I think they were thinking we actually closed the gap when Beale came in.
Yep.
He scored 92 goals in 43 games, so just averaging more than 2 goals a game, about 2.2 goals a game, and then conceded 44 in 43 games, which is averaging just over 1 goal per game. That's probably pretty poor, I believe. I'd say that is poor.
It is poor, but to be honest, that's...
I mean, I know, but you've Gio van Bronckhorst, who conceded 75 goals in 69 games, which is 6 goals more. I get that, but like you said, you factor in the Champions League as well.
In Europe.
A lot of the pumpings that they took in that. If you look at Gerrard, he had 193 games and only conceded 135 goals. So, you know, that's a much better defensive record. So maybe what undone Michael Beale was just the fact that Rangers conceded too many goals. I think conceding, on average, more than 1 goal a game is pretty poor for Rangers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, look, let's...
Because it's mainly domestic.
How many times did Beale concede first and win? I mean, they conceded a lot of goals, Rangers, so... Again, Beale comes in second place here. Is it harsh? Out of I mean, we can't really rate Big Phil, but out of the other 18, is he really 17th?
Well, we're only including permanent managers here.
Yep. My problem is with Beale, though. I mean, he has had one of the better squads out of the recent years, where Rangers had a lot of managers. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, much better squad than the likes of Warburton.
No, I did mention the fact that Mark Warburton. I mentioned the fact that Ally McCoist won a Challenge Cup. It was actually Warburton that won the Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
So, and he was the one that won the championship. I think McCoist got sacked after Rangers didn't win the championship first time around, which was rightfully so. I mean, 27 points behind Hearts.
I got sacked 21st of December 2014.
I would say because Mark Warburton won the championship and won a Challenge Cup, you'd probably have to put him above these guys.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
At the end of the day, I mean...
Warburton always said if he had a team level with Celtic, close enough, he could have done something.
At the end of the day, I think when you're at Rangers, if you don't win a trophy, you're a failure.
Yep. And none of these guys...
None of these guys... Well, Alan McCoy's had a couple of minor trophies, but we're not counting...
I know, but I can forgive McCoist. I mean, he did a lot. I mean, playing-wise, he's a shite manager, fair enough. What's the other fucking 3 excuses?
Well, we're not judging these 3 on their playing careers. We're judging them on their managerial careers. Anyway, Paul Le Guen came in 3rd place. Paul Le Guen stats... 240 days in charge of the club, 31 games played, 16 wins, 8 draws, 7 defeats, 47 goals scored, and 28 conceded. What I'm seeing straight away for this Paul Le Guen side is lack of goals.
Yeah.
Lack of goals. Rangers averaging roughly about 1.5 goals a game. I mean, that's just not good enough for Rangers.
It's not. I mean, Paul Le Guen, man... I mean, 28 conceded and 31. Like, I mean, no, but the win percentage is what sticks out to me.
Worst win percentage out of these 4. I believe it's the worst win percentage ever as well.
For a
permanent manager.
Yep, it looks that way. It really does look. I mean, 51.
I mean, you're talking literally half. That is poor. That is very poor.
That is very poor. I'm looking back here. Yeah, there's no one. I mean, there's no one. It's bad. It is really bad. I mean, anyone else that's close to him has actually won a lot of trophies, to be fair. And back when the leagues were...
competitive.
Yeah.
You know, Celtic and Rangers didn't dominate, so you'd expect them not to have as high percentage. But yeah, Paul Le Guen. You know, arguably, the money Paul Le Guen spent, I think you could definitely make a case for him being worse than Pedro Caixinha.
If you look at Dick Advocat and Alex McCoist, I mean, they're on 67 and 65, or basically 66. I mean, they're like 15, 16 points clear of him.
Crazy.
With a lot more games.
And coming in last place, you guys thought out the four, he was the best Rangers manager. That was Ally McCoist. Well, out of these four, he is the only guy that won anything, albeit lower tier league titles, and let's be honest, it would be virtually impossible for him not to win League 2 and League 1.
Yeah, like what would you be doing not to win it?
I think any manager would win those titles with Rangers.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a donkey not to.
A literal donkey.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I pretty much think anyone could have managed, so I don't think we can give him that much credit.
I don't think Rangers even needed a manager to win them.
No. Now, he did have the best win percentage record out of any Rangers manager in history, but again, he spent his 3 years in charge pretty much of the club in the lower leagues. So
I think McCoy should be having like an 85% win ratio, honestly. In League 1 and League 2, I get it, cups as well.
Now, they weren't in Europe either, and I don't recall them in that period of time that McCoist managed them ever getting Celtic in a cup.
Yeah, so what's the excuses there?
So, I mean, Ally McCoist really, to only have a 72.46% win record, I think is piss poor.
It is.
I mean, the guy lost 20. The guy lost more games than he drew. And just
he turned those losses into draws, my friend.
I mean, at a time where he was in the lower leagues, that's not good enough, is it?
No, it's not. No, that is poor. Like, if you put me, look at Beale. I mean, Beale's got, a very similar record that was in.
Now, something I noticed, right? If you look at compared Gerrard and compared Ally McCoist here, right? Ally McCoist, 167 games in charge of Rangers, conceded 123 goals. All right, so
yeah.
Steven Gerrard, 193 games in charge of Rangers, conceded 135 goals. Steven Gerrard had a better defensive record in terms of goals against than Ally McCoist did. And Steven Gerrard was in the top flight and playing European football.
And he scored more goals.
I think that's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, what is that all about, Ally McCoist, son?
That is madness. In my opinion. But yeah, Ally McCoist's highest winning percentage, but for me it doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's one of those stats. It's just altered, man. It's no real.
But let's see what you guys think, because that's why we do these polls. Tim Celtic, is it Rangers or Sevco?
They've all been pish.
Well, if we're just counting Rangers, it's definitely Paul fucking Guen. Davy Ferguson, they've all been pish. I mean, can't lie about that. Timmy, surely can he be the football genius Michael Beale? He had Ange running, suppose. Well, he did see off Ange, didn't he?
He did. See that wee Grim Reaper meme? That's Michael Beale with Ange.
Well, I mean, hold on. If people are going to say Ange got Gerrard at the door, then I think it is fair to say Michael Beale got Ange at the door.
Absolutely.
Because Michael Beale was closer to Ange in terms of points than Gerrard was to Ange.
See, I think Ange knew that, Celtic supported Palestine and Tottenham support Israel, and he went, I'm going to jump ship.
Makes sense to me.
Good day, mate.
Mercury, only one of those was a Rangers manager, the other three were Sevco managers. The club. You're not sick of reading these? You're not sick of this shit? 2012? It's like, get new power, guys. Come on the fuck. How long am I going to keep this
what?
up?
I think it's actually quite impressive. In the year 2023, it's still going on.
But it's weird though. It's like when they win, it's Rangers. We beat Rangers. But then when it's a chance to disparage Rangers, it'll be Sevco.
Yeah. We beat the Rangers.
But make no mistake about it. It wasn't when they won 1-0. It wasn't we beat Sevco with a depleted squad. No, it was we beat Rangers with Liam Scales in centre back.
Exactly.
Ryan Longridge said, remember Celtic were not allowed to play in the Euros when they became a new club. Celtic, if it really want to be political, Celtic are a new club also. Yeah, Ryan, you tell them. Paul Hugh McGuigan, what, Celtic fans commenting this? As a Celtic fan, I will say Paul Le Guen, due to not even complete 6 months at the club. I mean, did Pedro really get much more than 6 months?
He got about 7 months. 7 and a bit months.
Oh, not much in it, was there?
No.
Hold on here, he got less days than Paul Guen, so...
Aye, so yeah, he's wrong.
If Paul Guen didn't get 6 months, then fucking Pedro certainly didn't.
No, definitely not.
John Reed said them all. I mean, no real complaints there. User 41023. Why does it do that? I hate that. Just calls people users.
Yeah, it only does it with some people.
They all worse than each other. That doesn't really make sense, does it? How can they all be?
They all just get worse then?
How can they all be worse than each other? Surely, if someone's worse than somebody else, then that other person can't be worse than them.
True.
RWSN said he literally hid in the bush. Did he actually?
Yeah, you not see that outside the hotel?
No.
He hid in the bush.
No fucking way.
You not seen the meme?
Boris Johnson hid in the
after
fridge.
the game and he's in the bush.
No. So hold on. He got beat off Progress and he hid in the bush. Wait, was that not early on in his tenure?
That's the first fucking game, wasn't it?
How the
No,
fuck?
second game.
How the fuck did he survive 200 odd days? If he hid in the fucking bush?
He hid in the bush for fucking 230 of them.
Sure. Did Hibs no lose to a team for Luxembourg? So
That's alright, sure.
it's alright. Fuck it. It's not embarrassing. The only difference is Hibs did smash them in the second leg.
It was Andorra.
Oh, same shit into Andorra, Luxembourg.
And they've dislocated my shoulder.
Alistair Bell said, I don't know, there is so many to choose. There's 4, mate. There's literally 4. I mean, this is not...
Yeah, I've seen you can only count to 2. 4's a lot.
I mean, it's not like we've gave you the 4 options. Like, come on. It's not like it's unlimited choice here. Kieran, Beale is a joint top. I mean, well, joint top with who? Fuck. Espanolification and Beale ball on top.
Beale ball.
Who's Espanolification?
I'm not too sure.
Cap 9 says Beale talked the most shite.
They're all shite.
David Courtney, they're all shite.
All bunch of losers.
A bunch of losers. RG's, where we Rafe Rovers flag. Well, McCoist is definitely the biggest hypocrite. Wonder why that is. Let's see, what did McCoist do?
Why is that then?
He claims to bleed blue, yet insisted on having his salary paid in full as the club died. He had a salary higher than most players at the club when he left. Well, I mean, it is his job. You know, I'm going to play for free or manage for free. For continually ignoring racist and bigoted actions from Rangers fans while decrying others for doing the same. I don't remember him doing that, but fair enough.
Yeah, you can be entitled to think that if you want, but it's not really the question that's being asked here.
Yeah, and the Gear Lava said, ask this question this time next year. I don't think Clement's going to be worse than these 4.
No.
Well, I say that. I mean, he could be worse than Beale.
You know, yeah, like the win record could be worse than Beale, but I just think,
Like, I'm not going to lie.
I think Big Phil's pretty much guaranteed this League Cup if he can sort Rangers out, which it looks like he's beginning to.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You tell me Michael Beale, if he came in with Celtic at the League Cup, he couldn't have done the same.
Of course he could.
I'll be honest. I think Michael Beale should have been last in this poll, just based on the numbers.
Yeah, I'd agree. But obviously, recency bias. I mean, a lot of people probably don't even remember Ally McCoist or Paul Le Guen. So
I mean, McCoist has got the numbers, but fuck me, he was in the lower leagues and he finished 27 points behind Hearts in the Championship. That for me pretty much gives you a case to put McCoist as the worst. And then you've got Paul Le Guen and Pedro, who I think are both as bad as each other, to be fair. But I mean, looking at the stats, you can definitely make a case for Le Guen being worse than Pedro. I don't see a 40% in the vote here. I don't think there should be 40% in it.
yeah, but it's recency.
Now, maybe if Paul Le Guen got beat off a Luxembourg side and hid in a bush, then he'd be on 52%.
Maybe a lot of people don't fucking remember Paul Le Guen. Maybe people probably don't even fucking remember Pedro.
So maybe people are only counting Sevco managers.
Could be.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts. And well, you've already gave us your thoughts, but if you haven't commented yet, get in the comments, let us know. Personally, in my order, I'll go from worst to worst from best. In this list, I would go. Who would I go?
You hyped it up just to not remember.
You can only beat who's in front of you. Therefore, I would go Le Guen, Pedro, McCoist, Beale.
That's fair enough.
And the reason I'd say Paul Le Guen is because I just remember him coming in with so much hype. A good manager, expected to do well. And like you said, he did have a better team, a better squad. Pedro did inherit a bit of a shit show for Mark Warburton. I mean, that Rangers side wasn't good. I know they defeated Celtic or whatnot in the cup, like, but it wasn't a good side.
No, they did, but I mean, I think with that Pedro team, you looked at it, man, it's fucking. There's a reason why it was getting beat off Aberdeen.
Aye, so, yeah, there you go. That's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.